What's going on, guys? It's your boy Thriller here, back with week 4 of the MGDL, the Magic Guard Draft League. We are taking on Coach Fat Halbert and the Squirtle Squad, even though he doesn't have a Squirtle on his team. False advertisement, I might say. But anyways, we are here to take on Halbert. This is actually the second time I've ever taken on Halbert. First time we took him on the first season of the OGDL, and we had both Reggie Drago and Reggie Electro that team, and he got Reggie Drago because Reggie Drago got all 6 kills. But Albert's ready for the Reggie Drago this time around if I had it, but I don't. So, but we really must need win here. If we win out, we guarantee make playoffs. If we lose this game, we can still make playoffs with a 4-4 record. But unfortunately for us, that would mean then if we lose this game, we have to win out with at least 4-0 or higher diff every single time to be able to make the playoffs. So really need a win this week, and I also kind of just want to win just to get out of me this slump that I'm in. Because week 1, if I made a different play, we would have won. Week 2, I was not allowed to play the game. In week 3, it just came down to prep for my opponent that ended up winning him the game. So we've essentially should have won 2 out of our 3 games already, but that's just how Pokemon goes sometimes. So we're here to pick up a win, though. I'll really need this win. I really do. I really need this win. But Halbert's team, though, is Great Tusk Salamence, which is Kintera, and Heatran, Gengar with Terra, Weavile, Milotic, Rotomo, and Corviknight. Now, looking at his team, I'm expecting pretty much his top 2, then followed by Weavile, Milotic, Gengar, and then the 6 slot can vary. I think it has to be Corviknight. Corviknight is a very good answer to a lot of things on my team that I can't really do much. I don't think Rotomo comes at all. Rotomo has a really bad matchup, in my personal opinion. He should come over Corviknight, but I really feel like Corviknight's got the better matchup here, in my honest opinion, based on how it can really help remove the hazard potentially. It's also the fact that Heatran doesn't really help him check with the Sinistcha on my team, whereas Corviknight does. So that was gonna be the 6th Ember rating. Terra wise, I don't really know what Terra to expect from the Salamence. I could potentially see Fairy. I could see Ground. I could see Water. I don't know. It could just depend on a lot of variables here. I think the main one I'm expecting is Ghost potentially. So look at the team we have here, and you probably can guess what this means with the team pace right here, but we'll talk about it in a second here. But first off, we got Raikou here, our smelly cat here with Subcalm Mine. Subcalm Mine actually kind of just wins me the game here if I play my cards right. So it's a really good mon into this matchup to where it can provide really good offensive pressure, and I think offers a lot of great utility for this matchup. It actually could just straight up sweep him if we get that Salamence weaken, especially if it's a top Terra type. It's that we can potentially. We are faster than the Salamence and everything else below it. We do not outspeed Gengar with this set, so there's that. Um, Up next, we have Torn our Typhoon with Terra Water. We're not going to most likely Terra this mon this week, as I do want that Yachi Berry. Until my Yachi Berry is burned, I cannot Terra this Pokemon. But we have Torn here with enough speed to outspeed the Gengar and below Resistance for Death, Nasty Plot, Heat Wave, that are Terra Blast, and Hurricane. Pretty much Heat Wave and Hurricane's all I'm clicking. I only really want to have Terra Blast in case I want to Terra this in front of Heatran potentially. Um, so there's that. Up next, we have Robo Justice making his day return again with the Booster Energy Speed set. We are faster than we are faster than Great Tusk and Rotom-Mow, but we are making sure we're also faster than everything at +1 before Scarf. Scarf, which are playing things, but obviously we're faster than Scarf Rotom-Mow and Scarf Tusk, especially as well. We are Calm Mind, Psychic, Tackle and Cutter, and Focus Blast. This mon pretty much can just set up and win the game if we get the things chipped down. Now, if Heatran comes, this needs Heatran to die, and then this set just straight up wins. So that wins for us. Obviously, we have Doug Dimmadome, Holmes of Dimsdale, Dimmadome. Kind of a Fizz Def set this week with a little bit of depth and speed. We have some speed to put in there to outspeed the Corviknight and the Milotic. Otherwise, we have running mostly physically defensive, just to be able to take a lot of hits. We have Will-O-Wisp, Flamethrower, Taunt, and Strange Steam. Strange Steam just because there's no really good fairy resist outside of his steel types, and then Flamethrower, that way he can hit stuff like the Rotom. the Rotomo and the Corviknight for super effective damage. I didn't think I'd need Sludge Bomb this game because Sludge Bomb didn't really help me against a bunch of anything else there. We have Taunt there again, just kind of stuff I'm setting up and trying to do some stuff here and there. Otherwise, Doug's not here to really do much. He's just here to do some stuff. Up next, we have Sinistra with a very risky set here. I'm not really confident with this set because I don't think it's going to do that well, but I'm hoping it's going to work for when we need it to. We are a Trick Room variant this week with Trick Room, Calm Mind, Matcha Gotcha, and Shadow Ball. We are mixed defensive while being a quiet nature to still hit really hard with Heat Proof. So that the Heatran does come, we still have a measure of way to stop Heatran from really doing much damage to me. So that really opens up the doors for us there. Um, and then up next, we have our Terra Normal Entei, which is most likely going to be the Monite Terra this week with the Silk Scarf, rocking out with the Sacred Fire, Stopping Tantrum, Extreme Speed, and Double Edge. With our EVs and IVs, we are basically meant to be more of a defensive, offensive breaker this week, where we have good enough bulk to lift some hits, but we're here to dish out a massive amount of damage. With Double Edge and the Terra Normal, we guarantee 2 AKO from fully physically defensive Milotic. But if it's Marvel scale Milotic, it's going to mean to be more problem. But Entei pretty much can win us the game here if we play our cards right. So, really hoping this mon is going to put in the work for us this week. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the battle. And we're here for the battle, and you see it's a postcom. Now, I want everyone to know this postcom mostly is a big hindrance to me because I was actually commentating this game, and then my sister called me twice to tell me the same thing that she was locked out of the house, so I had to stop what I was doing to go get her. So I told her I'd do it after this battle, which luckily by the time she called me the second time to confirm that she needed me to help her out, I was almost done with this game. But yeah, you can thank my sister for ruining the commentary and the video, so it has to be a post-com. Now, obviously, I could have just done my best to edit that out, but I feel like this just, I don't really want to make an edit just in regards to a phone call. But yeah, so thank my sister for ruining this video. Gotta love sisters. But anyway, so Halbert pretty much brought everything expected, except he did bring the Rotomo, which I'm actually very surprised he brought. And he brought Heatran, which I genuinely think Heatran, in my personal opinion, did not have a good matchup here. Based on the fact that I can Terramons, I had Donphan, I had Hisuian Samurott, I really am surprised Heatran came to this game. So, very interesting mons here that he brought this time around. Like this, those first four being Milo, Mens, Tusk, and Weavile. Knew those were it was always coming. So we'll go ahead and lead off with my Sinister here because I figured he was going to most likely lead with either his Moromo or his Great Tusk to try to set up rocks, or even potentially lead off with the Heatran because I could 1v1 Heatran. He actually leads off with Salamence here. So I'm just going for a Calm Mind here, and he actually goes for the Draco Meteor, which revealing to me that he is choice, that he is special and he goes for the Draco Meteor, and then also reveals to me that he is Specs. Now, funny enough here, if I had, I've already clicked pause. If I had Strength Sapped here, I would be in such a good position here because if I just had Ghost, I could have actually still won this game with just Ghost. It would have been a little more harder, but I could have won it. But I had to click Machagacha there because if I didn't click Machagacha, he actually killed me without a Draco Meteor because this is a modest specs Salamence here, which honestly, very shocking bringing to my team. I did not think specs made a lot of sense there, but you know what? Shouts to Halbert for going with that. Obviously, must have been for specific stuff. He's also Terra Electric on his Salamence to stop the potential absence of Thunder Wave, my Tornadus, and even probably my Raikou as well. So that makes a lot of sense. But um, but yeah, I'm very surprised there was no Gengar and no Corviknight. More so no Gengar, if anything, because Gengar ran through me, dude. I had nothing to stop Gengar. I had no normal type of my draft, anything like that. He must have just feared the potential priority on my team and probably options of what I could do. But even then, I'm shocked that there was no Gengar. But I had to click Machagacha there, otherwise I was gonna die to that. So now I get to go ahead and click Shadow Ball here on this Heatran, which does prove to be Spadef Train like I feared it was. And we get a special defense drop, which is actually pretty huge. I go for Shadow Ball here again and get a massive crit. I have Hacks Halbert so badly here in these first few turns because he misses a Draco, which, depending on the roll or even a crit, could have killed me. Well, I guess if we saw it at 30, left with 30 minutes. But it basically would have meant I would never have gotten Combined off. and I would have probably most likely still died to another Draco Meteor unless I pivoted out. Which honestly, if I had pivoted out instead after clicking Trick Room there, I could have maybe taken some advantage of some other options there potentially, but who knows? But I clicked Shadow Ball, and that crit 1000% mattered. I did the damage count. He was Spidef Tran, so that crit did 100% mattered. And I don't know if he was clicking Stealth Rock that turn or he was going for the kill on me. But he had rocks on this thing, so I imagine he probably clicked rocks there, knowing I had no removal. But now he goes Weavile. I had to sack my Sinistra as there's no reason to save it. Could have potentially used it for something else. I make a really big brain play here as I go into my Doug Dimino because I know he's not going to risk just letting this thing get burned or gain damage. Because if he does that, he loses the game. Just gonna tell you right now, he'll lose the game if he does that. But I actually make a really big brain play and click taunt on this Milotic so that way he can't recover. And I'm pretty much now forced to stay in because I have nothing that really wants to take a Scald here because but I actually decided to switch out here into my Iron Crown, get my booster. I'm taking a massive risk here with my booster, and unfortunately, I get burned. 30% chances are fraud for you. It only works for your opponent. I click Calm Mind here again. As he clicks Flip Turn here again, and the Salamence comes in here. I'm gonna click Psychic. Even for some reason, Terra Electrics here, which part of me was wondering why. My guess is that he probably assumed I was going to click Tachyon Cutter, which I guess from his role and perspective, it looked like it might have killed. Or he was wanting to stop me from clicking Thunderbolt, which sadly I don't have Thunderbolt. I should have Thunderbolt. But he's gonna put in range here. He's gonna go for Fire Blast, and that knocks me out. But luckily now, this gives me the opportunity to go into my Raikou. Now, in hindsight, I should have went into my Entei here. But I'm gonna click Calm Mind here, and he is gonna reveal to be Scarf Rotom. Part of me wish I clicked the Thunderbolt there, but I mean, I had nothing right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just do another sub here. Let this Tusk go in here. He's actually going to spin, which was a really good prediction right there from him right there. But the Great Tusk can't do anything to me. I'm going to go ahead and click Will-O-Wisp here as the Rotom comes in here. Now, a part of me is expecting him to click Volt Switch here because Volt Switch is a super free pivot here for him, and it opens up a lot of doors for him. I don't know why he keeps doing that. So I'm going to click Strange Steam here, predicting him to switch out as he's actually going to stay in and go for Shadow Ball. Now, I think personally Shadow Ball is a weird to bring on Rotom. I guess he wanted to make sure he had something to hit Sinistcha, but a part of me thinks that's a little bit risky because if a weakness policy variant, you can just proc weakness policy on me and you can just basically make it to where I win the game. So, of course, if your trick's not intact, if your trick's still intact, of course, then it's a problem for me. But if it's not intact anymore, I think it's a risk to have something like Shadow Ball. So but now he's gonna click Volt Switch here, as it is gonna be enough to kill me at the range that I'm at. And he's gonna go right into Weavile. I have to go Entei here. I have no choice. I really debated going Torn here and potentially risking my triple by Berry here, but I could not risk the damaging because even if I Terra here, right, and he clicks knockoff, two knockoffs still kill my Tornadus, and I don't kill him, so I have to go into here. I'm gonna click Double Edge here, predicting him to go into my Milotic, but he is actually going to stay in and let me kill his Weavile. Now, he said that he personally felt like Weavile didn't do much while having the Terra Water or the potential Yachi in the back that I had with Torn. But I really think still, I think keeping Weavile was the play because Weavile still runs through so much of my team, especially since you would have known that I would have had to tear this thing to do damage to Milo. So the fact that you basically let me have that Weavile now makes it to where Torn actually just straight up wins the game. Cord now guarantee wins me this game, and I have to make sure I do that. But here comes Elements here, and I guess he just went for the Intimidate drops. Decides to sack off the men, so Entei gets two more kills, which you love to see. I actually started going to Smelly Cat here, as he's gonna click Scald here, and now I'm in a tough, interesting situation, right? I decided to click Scald on the chance that he might try to go out into his one guy. But now I have to make a very risky play here, and this is the play I have to make here. I actually am going to sack off my Raikou here, so I can get a clean switch in for my Tornadus here. Because now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my Torn. I'm clicking Nasty Plot, and now I'm pretty much free to go here. He actually clicks Recover here. I'm clicking Hurricane here, and thankfully, do land. We do get confusion. He does not hit himself. He's going to Alluring Voice here. I go ahead and click Terra Blast. It's guaranteed in range, so I don't have to worry about killing it. Now in comes this Rotom. Now I want you all to know this was the scariest, well, one of the two potential scariest turns. This was a scary turn for the main reason of this. I was going to be scared because Terra Blast has a 50% chance to OHKO this Rotom at the range that he's at. But I either take that risk and potentially just lose my Typhoon right now and let him get potentially Rapid Spin from the Great Tusk if he sees I have a Hurricane Miss, and then I lose the game because of that. Or I go for Heat Wave, having to risk that 10% miss, which I honestly was terrified, but I had to click it. I had no choice. And thankfully, we do land. Now it comes down to Torn landing one more Hurricane here. And Torn, with his redemption arc, lands the Hurricane, and we pick up a massive win over Halbert. Massive GG's to Halbert. Again, I think we did win that game mostly because of hacks. I do think if Halbert did get those rocks up, it probably would have been over for us. Um, Again, it would have came down to the play still played what they did. More than likely, Entei still would have had one rock switch in left. Uh, I don't think it would change too much, but it would have maybe affected potential damage rolls on some Pokemon, and it would have maybe affected potential outcomes of some stuff here and there. But again, yeah, I don't think those rocks being up didn't matter, but definitely the hacks mattered for Halberd because it just didn't let him be able to do stuff with his Heatran, which definitely kind of could have definitely been a big game changer for it, especially if we would have kept that thing around potentially as well, if he wanted it. So definitely a very rough game, a little bit of a rough game for Halberd, but I think we still could have walked away with a win, but it probably would have been a lot closer than what it would have been as well. So. But G's to Halbert, though, we finally get on the damn board with a win. Torn with the redemption arc. So Torn needs to start proving himself more. But man, my season does not get any easier. So I go from playing Harf, who I've never played, then to 2 weeks facing my bros Owen and Dai, who those were just two rough games. But now we get into two more rough games because next week we take on Kaz, who I have never played, but I have seen him play a few of the fellow goons in John, Owen, and it even helps prep for those guys as well. So I've never faced him, so this is gonna be a really interesting matchup, and I'm really looking forward to it. But then after that, I take on the GOAT, the man that hates Terra. It's the man himself, Kirby. After that, so really next tough pair of battles coming my way. Definitely to some all time great players. So really got my work cut out for me this week. These next couple of weeks, and then after that, I have Bope, and I think I either have Sage or Sin next after Kirby. I don't remember which one. It's one of those two, I believe. And then Bope's my last week of the game. So we have some chance still. The playoff hopes are alive still, guys. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Definitely, if Halbert has a channel, I'll put a link down in the description for you can check him out. But if not, just a massive shout out to Halbert. And again, just some love to Halbert. He played really great. This was a really close game. And a lot closer than our last time we faced. So that was also a really good battle, too. So, but thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.